Steve Richards with PRN. When you won at Michigan, obviously it was a big win for Ford. Was it a big win, a bigger win for the manufacturer than you thought it would be, after in the days and weeks after?
Was that how many? Do we have just one win there? Was it the? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Anytime you win, I'm not sure. I remember we ended a long losing streak at Michigan in, I think, 2007. I think it was 2007 or 2008. But anytime you win at Michigan, it's big, and it's big for especially the guys who race for Jack. Jack and his business is based in Michigan. Ford Motor Company, everything they've done for our sport and for Jack and everyone at Roush Fenway, myself included, we really appreciate everything they've done, and it's a very special place to win. Victory Lane takes a long time there because of all the photos, and it's neat to have guys like Edsel and Jack and his family and all the folks that support us, from a technical standpoint and from a financial standpoint so much that it's a special place to win. I think everyone in the garage feels that way. It's a good place to win a race, and the fans there are great. I mean, it's my spotter Jason. He's from just nearby the racetrack. He's been going to the races there since he was a little kid. It feels like a home track for us for a number of reasons.
Final questions for Carl? Okay, we'll take one here from Mike, then go back over to Lee.
Mike Muller, Mulhern.net. I guess you've raced in the rain, and we're at Watkins Glen, and it's sort of wet. And now racing in the rain and racing in the wet are two different things, obviously. And I still remember Montreal a couple of years ago, which you probably remember too. Racing in the wet here, when it's not raining and it's dry, but the track is wet, in a nationwide car versus something in a cup car. Why can't we do it in cup cars if we can do it in nationwide cars? And what's it feel like out on a track like this?
I don't know why exactly they don't do it in the Cup Series. It's a good question. We talked about that a little bit this week in preparation for this race. I don't know I just don't know why. I'm sure they have a really good reason. I've enjoyed racing in the rain in the Nationwide Series. When there's at Montreal, there's been times where there's standing water, and that's a whole different animal. But that race with Marcus, when it was drying, that was one of the most, the win aside, it was the race for that win was one of the most exciting races I've ever been a part of. And that's because when the track is dry and you have so much, there's so much difference in grip between the wet spots and the dry spots, and then managing the use of the tires because the rain tires don't hold up as well on the dry as you'd like, so you can hurt the tires. There are a whole number of factors that play into driving fast on a wet or drying racetrack. I really enjoy it. So I would say that if it were a little rain shower tomorrow in the middle of the race would be just fine. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I think it would test all of us a lot, and it'd be really exciting.
Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Can you just talk about Hendrick Motorsports? I mean, Roush really seemed to come out of the box extremely stout at the start of the season, and now it seems like y'all's arch nemesis are just kind of really coming together, right at the right time. I mean, what do you guys have to keep up with them?
That's a question we ask ourselves a lot. They do a really good job, and they're able to always. It seems like the anomaly for them is to be a little bit behind, and then the standard for them, the norm for them is to be just a little bit ahead, and they just do a really good job of that. We've been working very hard at Roush Fenway to try to be as proactive as we can, to look into the future, to try to be in the position that they're in, and we've shown, I think, over the last couple of years that we're able to stay out front more often than we historically have. And if you look at our performance just of late, we've been able to, we've been as close to those, when they're dominant like they are right now, we've been closer to them, and we are closer to them than we have been in the past. So I think the things we're working on, if the things we're working on and the goals we've set are met, I believe that we'll be pretty good for the chase. Specifically for my team, the mission is to make the chase. But I think for Matt and Greg, if it looks like they're going to be in it, and I would not bet against those guys in those final 10 races. I think they're going to be very good, and I think that the whole garage is kind of learning a little bit from watching those Hendrick guys, and we're all getting better.
All right. Carl, thank you very much for coming in to join us during this holding pattern for the Sprint Cup Series practice.
Does it look like it's going to rain again to anybody, or does it look like it's going to be clear the rest of the day? Okay. It's going to rain later, but just don't know how much. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for your time. Good luck this weekend.